Hello, my dear students. This is your mentor, Miss Vilika. Today we'll be discussing a new chapter, chapter 7. The name of the chapter is Down to Earth. The topics that we will be discussing today are magazine article, answering comprehension questions, shape poem, descriptive poem, poetic devices that is alliteration, assonance and personification, autobiography, prepositions, novel extract, and the last one is descriptive prose. So these are the topics that we will be discussing in today's video. Magazine article. As we all know, what is an article? An article is a piece of writing that is published in a newspaper or in a magazine. And a magazine is a publication with a paper cover which is issued regularly, usually every week or every month, and which contains articles, stories, photographs, and advertisement. Magazine article is an article published in a magazine. Article is a notificational prose forming an independent part of a publication. Let's learn the parts of an article, or what are the points we have to remember when you are writing an article. The first one is remember to write the name of the writer. Whoever is writing an article, the name should be mentioned. Second, title. It can be just one word or few words but not a complete sentence. When you are writing a title, make sure that it can be one word or a few words but it should not be a complete sentence. Third, an introduction to the topic. Here you can begin with a quotation or stating the problem, or you can even give some contemporary evidence. So, when you are introducing a topic, you have to include any of this. Next, main body of the topic. When you are writing a main body of the topic, it should contain cause. What is the cause, or what is the effect relationship that you are talking about or that you are writing on? Next, advantage and disadvantage of the problem that you have stated in the article should be mentioned. So this is the body part, and the last is a conclusion. Under the conclusion, it should have some suggestions, or it can have a solution, or you can even write an appeal or action or future predictions. So when you're writing an article, you have to remember these parts, that is name of the writer, title, an introduction to the topic, main body of the topic, and the conclusion. Answering comprehensive question. This topic seems very simple, but it is very important, and at the same time, many of us make mistake when we do the comprehensive portion. So, when you are asked to say what happens in a passage, it is your comprehension which is being tested, which means when the question is being given for you to answer in the comprehension, your understanding is being tested to see how much you have understood the passage. So, if you simply repeat the words of the passage, you are not showing that you have understood its meaning. So, that is the reason why you have to change as many of the words as possible in your own words when you give an answer. Here, try to use synonyms wherever you can, which means same meaning with different words. So here at least change the order of the words where it is possible to use different ones. Your paraphrases should not be any longer than the original phrases, and preferably a little more concise. Answer in full sentence beginning with the writer, or you can start out with this happens because, and then you can start your answer. according to the way the question is being phrased. Sometimes comprehension is tested by being asked to select words from the passage which show something. Then you may answer by quoting phrases from the passage using inverted commas to show your answer is quoted. So, these are some of important steps which you need to remember when you are answering a comprehensive questions. Our next topic is shape poem. Shape, when I say this very word, every one of us know what shape is. So shape it can be round, it can be rectangle, it can be triangle, it can be straight, or it can be of different shape. So this shape poem is different from the other poem. So, a shape poem is a poem that takes on the shape of the things you are writing about. So, if you want to write a poem about a rainbow, for example, so the poem should be about the rainbow, and at the same time the writing way it should be the shape of a rainbow. Likewise, if you are writing about some other thing, like if it's butterfly or about a dog or snake or whatever it is, the poem should be about that particular thing, animal or people, and at the same time it should be according to the shape what you're writing about. Next, how do you write a shape poem? First thing, choose an object to be the subject for your poem. Good suggestion for beginners could be favorite animals, or it can be of your favorite foods. Next, draw a simple outline of its shape on a paper or on the computer. If you're using paper, draw with a pencil, not a pen. Then write your poem normally according to the shape that you have drawn. Descriptive poem. There are different types of poem that we have learned so far, and now we're going to learn what is descriptive poem. So poetry can take various forms but always expresses a message in a unique way. If it be of any kind of poem, the poem is always unique and it always expresses a message in its own way, often with rhyme or rhythm. However, some of the most intensely expressive poetry is highly descriptive and uses languages that creates images and feelings beyond that of other literary work. So, this descriptive poetry is unlike narrative poetry, is known not necessarily for telling a story but for its deep depiction of a person, animal, or inanimate object. Next, let's learn the three poetic devices, that is alliteration, assonance, and personification. We have already learned these poetic devices in the previous video, but let's quickly revise what we have learned. So what is alliteration? I hope you still remember what alliteration is all about. So alliteration is the use of the same beginning consonant sound in a line or in a verse. Alliteration is also called as a tongue twister. We already know that. So the example is Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Here we can see that the same beginning consonant sound is being used in the beginning of the words, that is P, P, P is being continuously used, and when we try saying this example faster we can see that it's a tongue twister. Next, assonance. Assonance is the repetition of the identical or similar vowel sound. Remember, it's an identical or similar vowel sound, that is A, I, E, O, U, in a series of words, phrases, or syllables. For example, clap your hands and stamp your feet. Here we can see that A, under the clap, A has been used again in the hands A is again been used, and again and, that is a, and again in the stamp A is been used. So the word, that is the vowel sound A, is being used 4 times in the same sentence. Next, try to light the fire. Here again, the first is try, that is I is being used. Next, in the light word again, lie, so I is being used. Last is fire. So here again, I, that is fi, so I is being used again. So here again in the sentence also, the vowel sound is being repeated several times in the sentence. So this is called assonance. The next poetic device is personification. This very poetic device is very easy. All you have to remember is personification is when you give human qualities and human characteristics to an object, animal, or an idea. Here, for example, the leaves dance their way through the lawn. So here, in this example, we can see that the leaves danced. So we know that the leaves can never dance. So leaves is an object where the human character, that is dance, is being used in the sentence. So remember, personification is when you give human qualities and human characteristics to an object, animal, or an idea. Next, autobiography. We have already taken this topic in the previous video as well, but let's see once again what is autobiography. So, autobiography is an account of the writer's own life. You can automatically talk about yourself, which is what you do in this type of writing. So remember, autobiography is all about self life printed or written. What is a preposition? A preposition is a word which has been used to link nouns, pronouns, or phrase to other words within a sentence. The act to connect the people, objects, or locations of a sentence. Prepositions are usually short words and they are normally placed directly in front of nouns. There are 3 types of preposition, that is, time preposition, place preposition, and direction preposition. Let's see the example of time preposition. The examples are before, after, during, and until. Next, example of place preposition are those indicating positions such as around, between, and against. Next is a direction preposition. A direction preposition are those indicative of direction such as across, up, and down. Each type of preposition is very important. Novel extract. What is novel? A novel is a long fictional narrative which describes intimate human experiences. The novel in the modern era usually makes use of a literary prose style. A novel is a relatively long work of a narrative fiction, normally written in prose form and which is typically published as a book, whereas an extract from a book or piece of writing is a small part of it that is printed or published separately. So here, from this, we can say a novel extract means a small part of a story or a small portion from a novel is being taken out from the novel and is being printed or published separately. Descriptive prose. What is descriptive prose? First, before we see what is descriptive prose, let's see the meaning of prose and descriptive. So here, Everything that is not poetry is called prose, and descriptive is defined as giving detail or something that describes. An example of descriptive is someone giving a very detailed account of an experience they had. So ultimately, descriptive prose it means or it refers to writing used to describe specific scenes, settings, or people within a piece of prose writing, not poetry. So, my dear students, this is all for today's video. We'll continue the next chapter in the next video. Thank you and stay safe.